Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Super Robot Wars Z. And what I'm doing here is I'm increasing the range and melee attack stats of most of the pilots here. For some of the not so important pilots, I increase their evade. But I'm doing this to simply increase the damage output. And I think this is a better use of the pilot points than waiting for saving up for some pilot skills. And I really needed this damage boost because I wasn't really doing enough damage on my own. But it's really up to you whether or not you want to do what I did here. I think it's worth it, mainly because the SR point of this stage. So to get the SR point, you need to clear the map within 7 turns, and to do that, you do in fact need to defeat all the enemies. So, yeah. And if you're wondering why this episode took goddamn forever to make, it's because it took me forever to record. It took me like 5 hours to actually get the SR point for this. It's because it's a very I don't know how to describe it. You pretty much there's a very small window for you to actually get the SR point, and it's really hard to describe that. What I mean by that is that you're most likely going to get it on the enemy phase of your 7th turn, because you simply just can't destroy all of them. And you'll see what I mean once we actually get into start doing the when we start doing the stage. But it took me forever. I have to quick save a bunch of times and trying to get the most optimal way in certain scenarios. And once I did find the most optimal way, or when I thought it was the most optimal, not the most optimal, but the best situation that I could get out of a particular turn, I quick saved. And I quick save a lot, and there's a lot of cuts here. And this recording here is my 3rd or 4th recording session with this stage. You see that other save file? That's because I gave up. I gave up and moved on. But then I decided, nope, I gotta get that SR point, so I came back to the stage. And it took me goddamn forever to get the SR point, but I did it. It's like stage 20 in Z 2.1 all over again. For those of you who have seen that playthrough, and around stage 20, I almost gave up. I almost gave up getting all the SR points in that game, and I almost gave up getting all the SR points in this game as well. But through perseverance, I eventually did get it. What took me a long time. Now, it's not the fact that there is like so many enemies or whatever that makes this stage difficult. I think it's the quantity of enemies and their high HP, sometimes high defense. You really need to make use of your support attacks, because a lot of the units I'm using here have support attacks, so you really need to make use of that. If you're going to invest in some pilot skills, I would recommend support attack at least. It's probably one thing you're going to want to get for most of your pilots, mainly because from what I've seen here, it was very useful here in finishing off some units, because it gave me that bit of extra damage that I really needed. And the Zabunga warship, if you have money to upgrade it, because you'll do a lot more damage with it, and you're going to be better off, because it has map attacks that are really useful for doing damage or finishing off a bunch of units. Also, to get the you can get an Aki point at this stage. My Cape isn't leveled up high enough for that to really be feasible. The only way I could do is if I loaded a quick save over and over and over again until I got a critical every single time I used an attack, and I would have to equip him with several parts to increase his movement. I didn't think that was worth it because I did try that in my first run through, so I didn't go for it. We actually, based on my calculations, we actually have more than enough Aki points. We have 7, and we can get even more. So if we need more than 7, it said 7 plus, so I assume we just need 7, at least 7 Aki points. But we can get more, so we'll be fine in terms of Aki points. Should be anyway. So the rest of those guys are in squads or teams, whatever they're called. Now, with Overman King Gainer, he doesn't go into what is it? His overskilled pilot ability doesn't activate. His overskill ability doesn't activate until he has like 130 or 140 will, and I think it's 140 will, which is going to be very difficult to get to. I've also equipped this unit here with 2 movement increase parts, which increases movement by 2. I just did that to get further in, and I think that to get further into the stage quicker, because it would usually end up right next to Cape there in his Zambot unit. And I'm not sure if having the little movement there actually did help me or not. I did get it in this run, so to speak. I did quick save a lot and load quick saves a bunch. So, and I decided not to speed up or anything during this because of almost how perfect you have to do this stage. Unless you're on a repeat playthrough where your units are, you have a lot of extra money to spend on upgrading your units. This is going to be a really difficult stage to get the SR point, which is why it really isn't recommended that you go for this on a first playthrough of the game. But I don't know what level Cape is for me, but I think he should be at least level 26, I think, if you want to get that Aki point. So you would need to have used Cape a lot more than I would have been using him. And let's see. Oh yeah, but the Rush Rod and Yasuba secret. I think the Rush Rod and Yasuba, like, they both have the same requirements, but they're 2 different secrets. Yasuba and Rush Rod are 2 different secrets, from what I understand. And to get the Rush Rod, was it a bunch of Overman King Gainer units need to have 100 or more kills by the stage, and I believe they should have that, and you need to buy the scrap OEM part. Let me go make sure what that's called. Let's see. Yeah, by the end of the scenario, Gainer, Gain, Gali, Sara, Bella, and Adet must have combined kill count over 100, and after the scenario, purchase scrap OM from the bazaar. And then in after stage 22, we need to purchase the overcoat from the bazaar, and then the scrap OM and the overcoat will combine into the Rush Rod. And the Yasuba, where's Yasuba? Because I think Yasuba is a separate secret on his own, and I think he's only available to Rand. I didn't see this. Oh god, what happened? I didn't see that it was exclusive to Rand until I actually clicked on the Yasuba part of the secret. Let me see here. Yeah, you must be playing as Rand to recruit Yasuba. So yeah, you need to get the Rush Rod in order to get Yasuba, but it looks like we'll get the Rush Rod, but not Yasuba. Okay. With Setsuko. That's fine. We'll still get the Rush Rod secret, hopefully. Yeah, anyway, this is what I mean by using map attacks. In this game, from what it seems like, they're going to be a lot more useful just because it can attack all units in a squad, and it can attack several units. So I think I'm going to place a bit more of an importance on upgrading units with map attacks because it just seems the more useful option overall. Especially the Bungal's warship, in the fact that they can, you can sort of select where you can hit. It's not like just a straight beam forward, or just a few map tiles in front of the unit. You can be a bit more selective in where you're exactly attacking. So I think that's yeah. I pretty much had to learn some new strategies or adopt new strategies, which I should have been using the entire time, but I needed to adopt strategies that I haven't been using before in order to properly complete this stage. So the stage is really a test of your endurance, a test of your skill, I guess, or endurance could be good because, well, test of your patience actually, because it was a great test of my patience, and I was able to eventually get the ASR point. But I'd say that part of that's due to luck because of how the AI works sometimes, because the AI sometimes is a rare chance that they'll do something a bit different. Like, they react on how you move your units around the map. So if you move exactly as I do, there's a chance that the AI will most likely probably act the same way and do the same things because of how the AI is programmed. But there's usually that rare chance where they do something different. Even if you move one tile, if you do something that's one tile different, the AI can act completely different, and I think I got lucky enough where they attack the right units at the right time, allowing me to finish them off a little bit earlier. So it really all depends on where you place your units, and sometimes they don't always attack the unit you want to attack. So I'd say I got a bit lucky during this front through of the stage. I don't really have much strategies to say here except use your map attacks to get rid of all these beginning units, because you need to get rid of a bunch of them before the reinforcements will appear. Because once reinforcements appear, after reinforcements appear, Ditarn and Aquarion, not Ditarn, Zambot and Aquarion will appear. Well, Zambot will combine with the other two parts and form Zambot 3, and Aquarion will appear along with 2 other boss units, so that's fun. Oh yeah, if a unit gets shot down, you're probably gonna want to reload a quick save. Oh yeah, I figured out how to quickly restart the game without I learned how to soft reset the game just randomly while playing this stage. You have to hold L1, R1, L2, and R2, then press start and select. So all of those buttons at the same time, and then the game will quick restart. Although sometimes I had one case where it did a quick load instead, so it just loaded my last quick save, but I couldn't replicate that, so I'm not entirely sure what I did differently that time. All these map attacks. And if I upgraded this unit, I would have done a lot more damage. Oh yeah, I would recommend transforming this unit into its upright stage probably as soon as you can, because when it's walker form, just change it to its walker form, because in its current form it can attack units that are a tile in front of it. However, in its walker form it can. and I didn't do this until later on in the stage. So I'm not entirely too sure how that will affect you and your progress in the stage if you do it earlier. But it might help you, it might not. But yeah, if you have money before from the previous from the previous stage, I would recommend putting some money into its attack upgrades. Oh yeah, the Big O, probably going to be your biggest damage dealer in this stage. It was definitely mine. So, yeah, if there's a unit out there that's full in HP, send the Big O over to attack it if you can. If you use Big O's best attack, he'll do more than half of a boss's HP at this point. Well, they're not bosses, but some of the more bulkier units, I guess, would be the best way to put it. So, yeah, as I've been playing Z, I've noticed that it's probably gonna take me a long time to get the SR point in some stages. So I don't think I can really keep a schedule for this game anymore. J, I probably could, but I've been preoccupied playing this game so I can play J. But yeah, this won't really affect people watching this game in the future, or this playthrough in the future. But yeah, the reason why this game sometimes takes so long to record is because it's the SR point requirement. Sometimes I take a few tries before I can actually get it. You can see how much damage the Big O did there. Oh yeah, Jerome in the Zabongo unit, he's in the Walker Gaia, I think is what it was called. He has the best XL spirit currently that's available to us. I don't know if there's a better one, but his XL spirit lets him move 4 spaces extra instead of the normal 2. 2 in this game anyway. And as you can tell there, I cut a few times. It took me a while to actually edit this stage, mainly because of what I said. All the reloads, so many reloads. Yeah, so far this is the stage I spent the most amount of time in, and I hope that doesn't happen later on in the game. I imagine as I get further down in the game, it get a bit easier because my stats are better and all that, and I have more spirits available to me like Valor and a Soul, and that's some loud truck driving by.
備はいいか、つぐみ。こらえて、つぐみさん。違う、今だ。逆連射、バカ。バカ。
Well, that truck is gone now. But, okay, what I recommend you do is don't move Aquarion from its spot. Change it so that it's Apollo piloting. Change its form so it's Apollo piloting. Do that. Do that right now. Apollo has the better stats, even though the other forms have better damaging attacks than this one. Apollo has the better stats, so he'll do more damage overall. At least that's how it looked like to me. Also, the spirit that this guy has lets you do a bit more, like 10% more damage when you attack certain units. If it's the same as Z, so I hope it is. So I applied to those two guys because I need to do more damage to those guys. And Zambot 3 also has a pilot that can do the same thing. So apply those to whatever units do you think is going to give you the most trouble. I gave it to those units who haven't been hurt once. And the big O can do a lot of damage. So those two units that appeared, here's pretty much what's going to happen. The big O is going to do one, it's going to Aquarion, let me repeat that. Aquarion's going to take out one, Big O and a few of the other units are going to take out the other one. The thing that's probably going to kill you is the whitish units that appeared, like the white humanoid units that appeared. They're going to be the ones running towards the others. They're going to be the ones trying to escape the stage, and you need to stop them. So I would recommend trying to focus on those guys first. And the warship should focus on the Zambot enemies here. Because the warships can do enough damage to finish them off if they're low enough on health, and they won't regenerate health at the end of a turn. Actually, I think all of the humanoid Aquarion units will regenerate health at the end of the turn. So that's why I recommend finishing them off and try not to have them whatchamacallit. Try not to have them recover HP at the end of the turn, I guess is what I'm trying to say. No, Aquarion in its Apollo form, I know with its Mugen Punch can defeat one of those what is it? Those blackish units over there. Those guys at when they have 4,000 HP with its Mugen Punch. And make sure Mugen Punch is selected when you're attacking them. Only attack them with Mugen Punch. Don't attack any other units with Mugen Punch because you won't have enough energy to finish one of them off. Make sure you use only Mugen Punch on the one that attacks Aquarion first. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack one of those silver humanoid enemies with Aquarion so I can finish it off with another unit later on. You'll see everything. That's what I'm going to do here in a moment. But essentially what I do is I have Aquarion attack one of those white humanoid units so they can be finished off later, more easily. The black humanoid units, I'm not sure what their names are, so that's what I'm calling them. One of them will go towards Aquarion and attack him, use Mugen Punch. Then on your turn you will use Mugen Punch again. And then on the final enemy phase, it'll attack you again, but make sure you have Mugen Punch selected, or also just do the normal, is a weaker attack other than Mugen Punch. I've actually had one run of this where before this one where I could have gotten the SR point, I think. But because I placed one unit in the wrong spot, I accidentally had them not do anything. and I had to reload a quick save, and the way I had it set up was kind of so perfect that I couldn't replicate it. And I couldn't remember what exactly I did, and the AI acted differently, so I think that was in a previous session. I don't think it was during this attempt where that happened. Or was it? I don't remember. But yeah, this will take you a while. I'd say if you're really adamant about getting the SR points like I am, I'd say spend like an hour or so on like one attempt, and if it seems like you really can't, you know, get the SR point, then I'd say restart the stage from the beginning, because it did take me like this recording session took me an hour and a half. So yeah. So it took me close to 2 hours to actually beat this stage on one attempt. Yeah, don't attack that guy. He'll come to you. Oh wait, past me. Attack that guy. Now imagine Aquarion, once it eventually joins us, it'll be one of our biggest damage dealers. And here, this is where the AI can act a bit different, because sometimes these guys will attack you and sometimes they don't. If they attack you, great, because that means you can finish them off, so you don't have to worry about them the next turn. And I think I do finish one of them off during the stage. And yeah, you won't automatically do your best attack sometimes, so try to make sure that's selected if you're unsure if you'll be able to defeat a unit. But the last thing you want to happen, you want to leave alive, is a squad. So make sure there's only single units left out on the stage when you end your player phase on the 7th turn, because if you don't, then there's no way for you to defeat them. Unless you can counter attack with an all attack, but I'm not sure if you can do that actually. But yeah, Z is definitely a challenging game. And here is where everything sort of just happens. I think I just got lucky. Like I've been saying, this stage is the most difficult stage, and I think I just got lucky when I got the SR point. I got it though. I did. Oh yeah, those guys. He'll recover HP. He'll regenerate some of his HP. So generally, what your goal on the 7th player phase is to destroy all the white humanoid units, defeat one of the black humanoid units, and try to make sure that none of the Zambot enemies are in squads. Kind of like I got a crit there because I don't think that unit, the Sandbob warship, could have finished it off without it. Got a bit lucky too there because I also got a crit. So, like I said, it's a bit of luck, but if you keep trying, eventually you will get it. But if you're playing this game for the first time and you feel like playing games like really casually, I would recommend going for all the SR points. I'd say just go for the Zayath points at least, so you can get the best ending, and then on the second playthrough, maybe go for the SR points. All the SR points. Oh yeah, I didn't even have to use the drones XL for that. But yeah, it was here where I was wondering whether or not I should save. Should I quick save? Should I not? Because I don't want to lock myself in a position where I definitely can't win, which is why I get afraid. A little bit, but you definitely want to defeat all the humanoid units. Don't leave a single one of them alive. If you do, you're not gonna get the SR point, because they're just gonna run upwards without trying to attack you. And there we go. Only 3 units left. I don't know why my screen is so zoomed out. I think I was just messing with the right analog stick before I, went to the end phase. And if I just pressed A right there, I would have lost the stage. Because I did Mugen Punch, and I did enough damage to finish him off. I'm pretty sure that the other attack does not do enough damage to finish the guy off. But either way, we got the SR point. And I'm happy about that. We have like over 100k in money. And I didn't spend it all during this because I was afraid of the recording going to shit and me having to redo that again. So I just saved it. I ended the recording. Oh, and I bought the I did buy the scrap OM part though. So I'll do the upgrades next episode. Yeah, I'll do the next episode, so don't worry about that. Anyway, that's the end of this stage. So I'll see you guys again next time, whenever that is. Bye.